Hey everyone, UC here from iTradePrice. It is Sunday morning around 9:30 Eastern. So just wanted to get started with our weekly video. So what you're looking at is a chart of QQQ in a monthly view, right? We still have quite a few days, a few weeks left for the monthly bar to finish, but just wanted to kind of see what kind of shape it is taking after 1 week of May, right? So we have a top wick so far, and the price is trying to push below the previous monthly low, right? So at a monthly level, the touch points are, 297 because that was a resistance on the way up. Once we broke out, the price retested that level, right? So that has some history. So that can be a downside target on further weakness. And if we break down below that, I don't think there is much support until 267, right? On a higher level. Of course, that doesn't mean we go there directly, or if we go there at all. Of course, we'll just have to take it 1 day, 1 week at a time. From weekly perspective, again, still lower lows, lower highs. Absolutely no bullish week at all in the past 5 weeks, right? And we're sort of making these double tops in the weekly chart, right? We have 2 touch points right here, 2 touch points right here. So every time it takes a dip down, the buyers step in and try to take the price back above previous week's high, but they just kind of give up, right? So right now we've closed below the structure here, right? This is the structure right here, the low. So we closed below that. We'll see how the next week starts, but that's what sort of the price action warrants itself at that it's weak right now. Okay, in the daily view, zoom out a little bit. We're making this down channel, right? And it's just priced the Friday. We did not close with a sort of a bearish trend bar, but still sort of indecisive for bulls, a pause bar you can say, but it's still weak, right? No bullish day sees any upside follow through. This is 330.3 is one of the levels that really need to get above, because that's sort of the swing high, right? You can see a triple top kind of a play where you have 3 touch points right there, and then you have 3 bearish trend bars right after those bullish days, and then we have this pause bar. And now let's see if the next day or next week comes and we start seeing some more weakness towards this 297 level. The volume kind of indicates more sellers are still in the market, so we'll see if that meant anything, and if it means a little bit more weakness coming in the market next week. Okay, Amazon weekly view, big dump since the earnings, lost around close to 1,000 points on this one, right? That's almost 30% of its move, and still the split is coming, but there has been absolutely no love for this name, and we closed right above 22.56, which was our sort of target, and I think it went up till 22.60, 61, something like that. So a few dollars away from that target. So if it breaks down further, 20.35 is the major target below that, but we can use some sort of a bounce a little bit just to kind of give us a better entry, I think, rather than trying to chase this name to the downside, right? It broke below the channel as well. So now 25.25 is the let's say the upside target on any strength day, and then we'll see if it can close above that, move above that. We have a little bit of gap here, but right now it's just sellers are in the market, and we'll see how it goes. But 25.25 is the level above which we can start being a little bit more aggressive on the bullish side. Right now, not like that. Okay, Apple, we are still maintaining the uptrend line in this name, right? But if it was a strong bounce off of that, we would have seen a bar like this, right? A bullish trend bar. We do have a bullish bar because it's green, but it's close towards the lower side of its weekly range with a top wick, and then that we have 2 touch points right here, 2 touch points right here, just like QQQ, right? So 171, 166.5 are good sort of, you can say, key levels in recent history that we need to target on any upside day, and then see if we can get a closure above that to see if the momentum on the upside can continue. But right now it just looks weak, and maybe we see some push to the upside and then eventually a breakdown below this uptrend line, right? Because bullish market does not look like this, right? So unless we start seeing some daily bars, bullish daily bars, and then some follow through to the upside, it just looks weak right now, right? So we'll see what happens, but it needs to get back above towards this uptrend line and then break out above that for bulls. But if not, then definitely 149 or 150 can be a downside target on a break of 154, 153 level, something like that. Okay, Tesla. Let's go to monthly view, right? So here's how the monthly chart looks like. You know, the first week of May gave us the top wick in the monthly view, right? So it closed still below the low, not the low, I'd say the closure of the previous month. So we had all these bottom wicks, right, in the monthly view. And now we have this top wick. That means still the selling pressure. And this is the long-term uptrend line that can be a first target on the downside. Let's go into the weekly view, right? Same sort of story. No bullish follow through to any week, right? And even if it's a bullish week, it's mostly the one with the top wick, right? That means sellers are still in control, right? Inside week, yes, but a weak inside week, right, with the top wick. So still indicates sellers are in control. Daily view, you can see there's always this urgency for the price to go down rather than go up, right? We have price action dominated here by still red days, bearish days, and we broke down below this up channel that it was trying to form, right? If I go into, let's say, an hourly view, here was this sort of up channel that I traded the puts against once it broke down heavy. Of course, we were in it before, much before that, but once it broke down like this move, it's kind of bearish, right? Because this was the move it wanted to move up. It could have done like this towards the top end of this channel, but instead it just, you know, kind of vomited and just kind of, you know, broke down. And now we saw some buyers coming up here, but absolutely no follow through. Buyers see it as an opportunity to sell. So until or unless we can get above 900, 901 level, 903 level, you know, the structure remains weak on an intraday basis. So that can be a level to look to short from the risk and reward perspective as well. Okay, let's look at Microsoft. Let's look at weekly view. Yeah, so we're just still in this range, right? On the upside we have this 293, 294 level, and on the downside I think 266 can be in play if, because again this was the only, oh, we're on 3-day chart when you go into the weekly view. So okay, even more bearish, right? Because we have these 3 consecutive weeks of top wicks, right? One thing to notice is that even we are getting these 3 weeks of top wicks, it's not breaking down. So maybe it does the next week or so, but really bears also need to push it down and see a follow through, right? So yes, from pattern perspective it is weak. From trend perspective it is weak, and now we really need to see a breakdown below this 270 level, right? That could be a psychological level, and then we can see 263 target, and then see if it further breaks down towards the low end of this bottom channel trend line, right? To get back above strong, it really needs to make a move above 294. We have 4 weeks of highs right there, and absolutely no buyers come around that area to, you know, propel it further higher. But until or unless that changes, it remains weak. Even in the monthly view, right, we had these bottom wicks, in fact, and no follow through last month, right? In fact, we saw sellers push it down, and now top wick. So if it, this is a breakout area actually, right? So this is a breakout zone. You have these 5 weeks, 5 months of support right here. So if that gets broken, a lot of people can be long against this low. So if that gets broken, a lot of stops can get hit, and further selling can take it down and push it really hard down, right? So that's sort of the price action that can play out. Okay, NVDA monthly view, similar to Microsoft, right? Bottom wicks here, previous months did not see any upside follow through, big monthly bearish bar. Earnings coming up later half of this month. We'll see how that goes, but right now it's moving with the rest of the market. So if market wants it's down, it is going down, right? It is just we have couple of weeks of touch points right here and then right here, sort of an outside week, right, with the top wick and close towards the low end of the week. So if it breaks down further, it's going down right here towards the channel trend line, but buyers really need to push it above 204 on a higher time frame, right, to reverse this sort of downtrend right now, which in fact it was trying to do here as it got above this channel, right? It tried to attempt a breakout above this channel, right? We saw this hammer bar as well, but then it just kind of gave up and sellers kicked in. So we'll see how it goes. If we get a daily bar, right, a green daily bar next week, and then we'll see if we can get above 204 as a further breakout trade towards 228. Okay, I mean, yeah. Okay, let's go look at Square. Earnings came out, we saw buyers step in, but then it couldn't really push the price back up. We're still stuck in this big down channel, right? Here was some resistance, and then once it broke down, this area became the resistance because it's just range bound, absolutely stuck. We did try to break down here, right? But we have this bottom wick, so you know, I think a good setup can be a break above this channel, right? That can be a nice move to the upside, trapping the shorts, but we'll see how it plays out. In the 2-hourly chart, yeah, I mean, it really needs to get above, let's say, if I do draw a little trend line off of the highs, recent highs, something like this, right? Then we'll just have to see the price action get above that, hold that level, get above 1 or 2, and then see if we can attempt to move to the upside. But right now it's just sideways, too weak. Okay, let's look at a couple of other names. Shop, we did catch the downside move, not on Thursday but on Friday, right? It just gave up that level and gave us a nice move to the downside, and our Lotto puts 350 piece came back alive and gave us I think 100% return, right? So still we got what we wanted out of that Lotto, right? So price action again remains weak. We have this a little bit of gap to fill on the upside. We'll see how it holds 350, but 303 could be doable if the price breaks down below 350 psychological support level, right? So just kind of keep an eye on that. And one more thing I wanted to see, I think we did not cover in QQQ, was that I wanted to go and draw a little bit of Fibonacci levels and just kind of, you know, give you a little bit of that view as well. So on a greater time frame, if I were to draw from this pre-COVID time, all this move, so usually they say the price likes to target 50% to 61%, sort of a retrace, right? Those are the numbers. So we're getting there, right? 50 is this and 61.8 is this, right? And it is sort of a forming a head and shoulder kind of as well. I mean, you can say that it's not really a clean one, but it does look like that, as you know, from one perspective as well. I don't know if this is a neckline or this one is, right? But one of those two could be the sort of the necklines. Okay, and if I drill down into a lower time frame and just see a move off of this one, right? If we were to retrace from this to the recent lows, the price did retrace back between 50 and 61.8, right? This one, the 61.8, this is the 50. So price did retrace and then now breaking down further below this low. So that means it is still weak and it wants to grow lower with sort of this 297 just being, I don't know, there's just this from price action perspective, it just looks like price wants to go there, you know, before it could attempt any reversal or anything like that. Okay, we'll see. But right now the trend line, if I were to draw a trend line from here as well, something like this is also weak, right? Unless we can get back above this trend line, the price action remains weak as well and under pressure. Okay, all right guys, hope you guys like this little clip for this week. If you have any questions, comments, things like that, please don't hesitate. Feel free to leave us a message. Right? Thank you and have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye-bye.